public service announcement. I need help.
Guys, why does that Sunday afternoon nap hit so hard? I feel hungover. I didn't drink. I was just supposed to take a little nap and then I was going to edit this video. But baby,
I woke up, I don't know what time it was or where I was. So, after church naps, don't do it. Just don't do it. Don't do it.
Ooh, I feel like I've been asleep in the Sahara Desert for 10 years. Welcome to Southern Belle Speaks Sunday. I'm in my room at my parents' house. There's my little bed, and there's a bunch of exercise equipment in here. Obviously, I don't live here anymore, so I don't mind. But I just wanted to talk to you guys. And first, I wanted to do a Sunday OOTD. So let's roll that clip. I'm just wearing this skirt I got from Macy's when it was going out of business in one of our local malls. And the shirt, I believe, is from Kmart when it was going out of business. And I wanted to go for a nice little, like, 50s or, like, old school style Southern Belle type of look. You'll see a nice little pattern on the skirt. The shoes I got from Charlotte Russe. I love the little bow, the peep toe, and the nice sheer on the side. They matched well with the skirt, I thought. I love my high heels. So I'm just showing you, I did a wing liner to go with the 50s theme. And a nice little pop of color on the lip. And like a little 50s hairstyle with the scarf tied to the side. Alright, I'm back. So, you know, last week I had the pleasure of visiting one of the churches that I used to work with when I was younger. And, you know, every Sunday I do children's church. But just this year, I'm starting to realize the impact that we really have on youth. You know, the people that they're around really impact who they are when they grow up. And while we know that, we don't realize it, especially when we're aunts. We're not directly parents. We're like, I don't have kids. I'm not responsible for another human being, you know. And I've often felt like, you know, what if when I become a parent, I won't do the right things or say the right things or teach them and steer them in the right direction where they need to go in order to make them into who they need to be, you know, who God calls us to, you know, mold them into. It's, you know, I didn't feel like this per se, but when you think about it, you're like, well, I don't have kids, so I don't have to feel that responsibility of, you know, molding a child or that guilt of messing up a child or whatever. And that is always something that I thought about, you know, like, dang, when I do have kids, you have to be really careful what you say and what you do and which direction that you teach them to go in, because, you know, you could really mess up a kid's life, you know. And I'm like, I don't want that responsibility. Obviously, eventually I'll have kids. But what, you know, you can't really get away from that. One, my sister has 3 kids. My brother has 3 kids. And I'm very involved in their lives. My nephew, especially my sister's oldest, is 10. So my niece is 7. They're really starting to watch what I do. And, what I say. Please excuse me, it was summertime, and I promise I took my allergy medicine, but it don't work. Anyways, so, they're really starting to watch what I do and watch what I say, along with their parents. And, you can't really bow out of that responsibility, especially when God has called you. With me doing children's church every Sunday, I have a huge impact on those kids' lives, And I think I've mentioned that I'm going to start nannying soon. I'm going to have a huge impact on those kids' lives. And I don't know, I feel like maybe that's my calling. I do work in the culinary field, but I believe that this is my, ministerial calling. And it's just so important. It's like, how could you want to skip out on that? Whether I have kids or not, I still have a civic duty to help. It takes a village to help raise up some children and help. When I know I was raised up and brought up in the right way and I was steered in the right direction, who would I to just let that die off and not fulfill that duty and reciprocate that by instilling it into another youth to make sure that they grow up and they, it's so easy for all of us to say, dang, these kids of today are so disrespectful. Or if I talk to my mom the way that these kids do, what would I be? Or I get my lips slapped off or whatever. I say that all the time because I'm like, these kids talk like they think they're adults. I wasn't allowed in grown folks' business in my day. I was to be seen and not heard. I was to be respectful when an adult entered the room. I was to be, well-mannered and well-behaved at all times. And when I see kids in the store, when I see kids on TV, I'm just like, sheesh, what happened? So it is our duty to pick that ball back up. Kids do have their own personalities, but they do what they see, not what you say. So, the example has to be laid out, and it has to be a repetition of teaching them, growing them, and, conversing with them about how they should act. My grandmother, she sat us down and she talked to us and she gave us scriptures to reference what she had to talk to us about. She made us read it ourselves. She made us pray and hold hands when we fought. Just little things like that. Sorry, the floor's creaky right there. But just little things like that really shaped and molded us as we grow. And to this day, I'm 25 years old, I still remember the things that my grandmother and mother and father did when I was 5. Knowledge that you have as an adult, the things that you wish you didn't do. I told the story last week about, the things that I wish that I hadn't done when I was in college. I share that with young ladies so that they don't have to make that same mistake. Things that you say and the things that you do may impact and keep that kid from going down the road that you went down. So you don't have to experience the things that you went through or worse, because each year things get worse for kids and consequences get worse and police brutality gets worse. And just, if you have something that you learned from, a mistake you learned from, or something you decided that not to do that worked out for you, just share it with a young person. And I hope that you realize the impact that you hold if you have nieces and nephews. Parents, I tell my nieces and nephews all the time, sometimes parents need help. That's why I'm on you when they can't be. Because I love you and I want you to grow and be the best person that you can be. So, I hope that impacted you in some sort of way. And I hope that you realize the responsibility that you hold. These young people who are looking up to you and they're watching what you do. So you changing your life and you getting yourself together is already a start to a young person changing their path. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Down below there's a button for that, and turn on your post notifications so you can get notified whenever I post. And share with a friend if you don't mind. I'm really trying to gain some supporters here. And so I'm not talking to myself all the time. Public service announcement. I need help. So, if you have a topic that you want me to discuss, leave that in the comments below. If you have some advice that you need, one of my message inboxes, my handles will be down below. If you have some advice that you need, you want to get on a video but anonymously, I can do that. If you have a young person you want advice for, whatever. Or if it's just something, an issue, biblically or not, that you want me to discuss. I don't like to discuss politics, so I won't be doing that. But anything else like what I've discussed, help, because I come up with my own topics, and sometimes I'm trying to brainstorm and I come up with something usually, but it'd be easier if someone had a topic for me, and I really want to get into advice videos. So please help, send help. Goodbye.